Rising in the lofty rainforest-clad Victor Emmanuel Range along the central spine of New Guinea, the mighty Fly River falls into the Gulf of Papua through a large delta. With its largest tributary, the Strickland, it has a total length of 1,220 kilometres, which is 760 miles, making it the largest river system in any island in the world. The Fly also has by far the largest freshwater discharge in Oceania, and is the largest in the world without a single dam in its catchment. The region through which the river flows is known as the Trans-Fly, which sits mainly within Western Province of Papua New Guinea and the Provinsi Papua Selatan of Indonesia. In the comparatively recent past, the current coasts of the Gulf of Papua in New Guinea and Carpentaria in Australia were former shorelines of Lake Carpentaria, which was one of the world's largest. Until it was flooded by post-glacial sea level rises around 8,000 years ago, the lake would have been home to birds from both New Guinea and Australia, and even today, many species are common to both of them. The lake's former shoreline in Australia has populations of both brolgas and Sarus cranes, suggesting that New Guinea may also be home to both. We know there are still brolgas, but so far at least no Sarus have been found. However, there are tantalising records of observations by local people along the Fly, and a report in early 2024 of a flock of 500 brolgas at Ben's Back is encouraging. So we're going to go and see if we can track down more concrete evidence of Sarus sightings. Nature photographer and conservationist Steven Nowakowski and I will be travelling a few hundred kilometres down the amazing Fly by small boat, passing through one of the world's most remotest wildernesses, recording its unique natural history and culture and searching for Sarus cranes. Fantastic. Despite its remoteness, New Guinea is rich in precious minerals, and the Fly has been badly affected by upstream mining activity. Our project sponsor, the Og Tedi Development Foundation, is implementing projects designed to improve economic, social and environmental conditions in the Fly floodplain. The foundation sets sustainable management of biodiversity at the heart of its project management, and we shall be providing advice on how to operate hand in hand with nature, optimising regionally focused branding opportunities.
We'll be starting our PNG journey in the capital Port Moresby before flying into Tuburbal in the Victor Emmanuel Range of the Star Mountains. We'll then continue on by vehicle to the river port town of Kiunga, situated on the Upper Fly. Along the way, we'll be stopping at some OTDF funded projects developed by its subsidiary West Agro Holdings in partnership with Innovative Agriculture Agro Industry Limited. One of the key projects is Fly Vanilla, which is based on a tried and tested nucleus estate and outgrower format, with model farmers encouraged to develop their vanilla crops using horticultural best practice. Outgrowers bring their vanilla pods into the nucleus estate near Kiunga, where they are paid accordingly to their quality and quantity of the pods they deliver.
A good example of one of our model farmers. So these are the type of people we're trying to encourage them as a family, you know, to really get into farming vanilla. This is a well-maintained vine here, and it is nice and healthy. All these young ones will be inspired to do the same in the future, carry on and work with their parents and their uncles and their brothers, and all be vanilla farmers in the future. So this is the future here.
This is Tundamasuk village. We have a model farmer here planted and then he has took some beans to the market and sold them. So he's really interested, and he will still continue to expand his block.
Yeah, I can see here he's taking... Vanilla is a high-value crop which can be grown in high biodiversity secondary forest in village environs. This forest is home to a range of endemic and local species such as cassowaries and birds of paradise and paradise kingfishers, all of which are capable of living harmoniously with vanilla and its growers, creating branding opportunities for the vanilla crop. A local species of bird only found in this dense monsoon forest along the upper fly is the little paradise kingfisher. It's a relatively frequent bird around Kiunga and a specialty of Samuel Kapuknai, a local man who has a thriving business guiding visitors and school children to see them. The little paradise kingfisher therefore offers a great opportunity to co-brand fly vanilla and local birding conservation initiatives. This type of branding works well in the USA market, where high-value food products are nowadays often associated with nature conservation initiatives, such as many Rainforest Alliance co-branded products and Smithsonian bird-friendly coffees. We've loaded our supplies onto an OTDF dinghy and are setting off from the landing at Kiunga for a 9-hour journey downstream to Ironbark. River levels are very high, so we're unlikely to see any cranes in this first part of our journey. But should we find suitable crane habitat along the way, we'll be recording this with GPS, video and photos. We'll also be making other wildlife observations as well as the activities of local people, from whom we'll try and get confirmation of Brolgas and Sarus Crane populations.
It's been quite a smooth trip so far, and this is really the start of the adventure, and really looking forward to getting into it and really getting out, getting the drone up in the air, exploring the wetlands that you've identified as being potential hotspots, and trying to look for these cranes. So hopefully we're successful. Well, in the scheme of things, I'm only just new to cranes, but put it this way, if we do find a Sarus crane in here, well then I'll be a well-inducted craniac. Yes, yeah. Or even if we find just, artefacts of a crane, which would be really exciting as well. So if we can find a positive idea of a crane, that will be, it'll be very exciting and well worth the effort.
We've started off from Ironbark on our journey downstream, hoping to arrive mid-afternoon. The weather is unsettled with signs of heavy rain all around, making drone surveys around Obo tricky. Because of the weather, our planned aerial survey flight from Suki Airfield in mid-afternoon has been cancelled. Over the past 5 days, we've surveyed all the wetlands accessible from the Nakaku OTDF field base. These include Quima, Arkata, Suki, Sapuka, Surki and Milawa. All have some suitable crane habitat, but as the flood levels remain unseasonably high, there has been a dearth of water birds. Villagers have told us that cranes have often used the wetlands, but not in recent years. Having said that, we've heard of large flocks of Brolgas this year at Bemsbak, close to the Indonesian border, and only a half-day's crane flight away.
Yes, we're just pushing through a bit of grass here, heading to the main lake. So through the drone there, it's about 6 kilometres in this direction, so we're going to try to get there and get the drone up there, and that will give me the ability to get the drone on the other side of that lake to see what the habitat is like over there.
In a village meeting near Nakaku on Suki Swamp, Miria Riramu, an elder from Kiru village, told us that cranes were known by the onomatopoeic name Guruka, and he danced and called perfectly like a broga or Sarus crane.
We are interested in this bird too. This bird has never been recorded in New Guinea. But this bird lives just across the sea in northern Australia, and it used to live in the Philippines. And we know that this bird in northern Australia is very closely related to the bird in the Philippines. We know that.
Honestly, I saw him. I was born in 1954. Then I haven't seen 1960. There was band here. How they dance? They call.
They do.
I don't know. Yeah. True. I haven't seen it. There was men here. All over the house. Big one. This one. Those we call kuruka. In our language, kuruka.
Kuruka.
Yes. How did it? Yes. Yeah. Kuruka. There is nothing. They disappeared. That's right.
And why?
I don't know. You know.
We want to find out.
Okay. I'm waiting for you outside. If I found it, I'll call you. I just saw one thing I don't have phone.
You'll find a way.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Kuru. That's the how cool. Kuruka, they call their name. Kuruka. Kuru.
They fly across.
That's it. No, can't see that. Hey.
They do.
Yeah, can you call the Kuru? Kuru. You. Thank you very much. You make good fun, yeah?
We had good fun.
I love you.
Some older villagers thought this may be due to the use of firearms in the 1960s and 70s, but that as ammunition was now not locally available, hunting was no longer feasible, so we're hoping for their return.
We've had really good assistance from local communities down the fly. And one thing that is really obvious is that their connection to the natural environment is very, very, very strong. They use it, they live within it, and they understand it in a way which a lot of Western societies have completely lost, but they haven't here. And hence that is a real asset that nature conservation can use, engaging the local community in their own environment. And it's a first-hand, close and intimate relationship which visitors would find really interesting, and local people would be very generous, I know, in explaining to them how they work within it, how they bring their children up within it, and how they grow old, in fact, in it. And hence it's a world which is rapidly disappearing, and one which has great value. Final word, really. This is the last great unknown crane population in the world. We know very little about it. We know there are brolgas here. We know that they're probably declining, and hence there is a real need for research into this population to understand what its dynamics are, and to propose how conservation measures can be put in place with local people, both here in Papua New Guinea and across the border in Indonesia and West Papua too. So the International Crane Foundation has a potential job here that is certainly worthwhile and will fill in really the last big gap in our knowledge of cranes globally. So I think it's important that it considers how best to do that, and to form local partnerships with people active, organisations active in this area, one of which is the Oktedi Development Foundation, which is sponsoring this visit and has been incredibly generous in terms of the logistics and the support of their staff. So there are opportunities that we need to further investigate and to take advantage of, and to grow our knowledge of cranes on New Guinea, the last great hole in the atlas as far as cranes are concerned.